What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel for this quick video, and today we'll be ranking finishing badges for big man builds. I highly recommend to watch the whole video so it'll make full sense. It's not going to be that long anyway. Don't try to just jump to the final ranking because you won't know the thought process behind those rankings. This one here is kinda subjective, so after watching, please let me know in the comment section which one you think is too low or too high. Or if you agree with the list, let me know in the comment section as well. So for the criteria, there could be lots of factors that needs to be considered, but the main ones are frequency of activation and the badge flexibility. Like, can the badge be used by most big man builds? So let's start with the bottom tier. These are the badges that are near useless, if not totally useless, as a big man. First one, Acrobat. We all know Euro dunks and reverse layups are not that OP as before because in 21 and 20, they were really OP even on big man builds. I was doing hop dunks and reverse layups all over the place way back, but it's not the case this year, making this badge useless for bigs. Next one, Limitless Takeoff. We all know the badge is really useful for guards, especially for slashers, but it's going to be useless for bigs. It's very dunk specific, so it's unlikely for you to activate it anyway. Next one, Teardropper. We all know teardrops are not the way to go in this game, especially for bigs. The only way you can use it is for grinding finishing badges as a guard, so it can be flagged as useless. Now for the next tier, these badges here can be really useful, but they're very playstyle specific, like it's not really used in most builds. These are Hook Specialist, Dream Shake, Pro Touch, and Post Spin Technician. All these badges here can be really useful, but as I mentioned earlier, not much players utilize them, so that's a bad point on my ranking system. Not much players are into hook shots and dream shakes, and big man moves this year are more on getting a good position under the basket and just avoid getting blocked, and you'll be fine. That's why many players don't use timing on inside shots anymore, which makes Pro Touch not that necessary. Post spins are not OP this year as well, unlike previous years, so Post Spin Technician is not really used that much. Now for the next one, B tier are more on essential badges that all big man builds must have, so C tier is a lower version of that. First one, we got Lob City Finisher. Every now and then you'll be catching lobs, but not so much, so it's not really necessary to be high, but you must have it at least bronze. Next one, Unstrippable, pretty much the same reason as Lob City Finisher. Next one here is Mouse in the House. You might be wondering why it's too low on the list, but hear me out first. On my video, I found out that if you're 6'10", defenders must be at least 3 inches shorter for the badge to activate. But you have to realize as well that interior defense is really weak this year, that if you're 6'10" and you're challenged by a 6'7", and usually these builds don't have interior defense anyway, I believe you'll make the shot 99% of the time. So for me personally, I can't remember a time that I took a shot against a smaller defender and missed it. Maybe I did like once or twice, but it's too rare that I can't even remember it. To be honest, the badge really has a potential, like the idea about it is really good, but since interior defense is really weak this year and most smaller builds don't have interior defense anyway, it makes the badge unnecessary. Next one, Fearless Finisher. It is useful, but it's not as useful as the next tier up. So before we go to the next part, just want to invite you guys to like the video if you're liking it so far, and don't forget to drop by the channel for lots of other videos, and it would be really awesome if you guys can leave any feedback or any recommendation for a topic. So now for the next level, pretty much the same as C tier, but they have more importance. First one, Putback Boss Badge. This one here is a really helpful one, especially now that interior defense is not that good. So usually after an offensive rebound, you'll be in a good position to take the shot, and that activates the badge always. Next one is Slittery Finisher. Could have been on a higher level, but I just think that those 3 above it deserves better recognition. Next one's Back Down Punisher and Grace Under Pressure. As I mentioned earlier, close shots this year is all about getting in the right position and just avoiding getting blocked, and these 2 badges here are real helpful in utilizing those good positions. Next levels, we have 4 badges left, but I just think that there's one badge here that deserves better recognition. That's why I split them into 2 parts, but all these 4 badges are top essentials. First one will be Posterizer, and Rise Up helps a lot on standing dunks, and of course, Dropstepper as well. I know some of you guys are kinda surprised that Dropstepper is too high on the list, but as I mentioned earlier, it's all about positioning this year, so Dropstepper in Hall of Fame is really handy, and that's been my main weapon in terms of close shots and dunks. That's been my gateway to good positioning. together with back down Punisher as well, of course. But of course, ahead of everything, it's going to be Fast Twitch. It's a jack of all trades badge, works on layups and dunks. Doesn't matter if it's off a pass, off a rebound, or just by yourself, the badge always activates. I know visually it's not really too much, but realizing how OP blocks are this year, that gap there really matters. So that's all for my ranking. Again, if you have some other opinion, like if you think that badge there is too low or too high, just let me know in the comment section so everyone can talk about it. So that's all for the video. If you guys like it, please smash that like button and please consider subscribing for more videos. And don't forget to drop by the channel for lots of other contents. And as always, stay safe and happy gaming, guys. Peace.